Hey, aloha guys, Eric West here, HawaiiRealEstate.org, sitting here with the one and only Daniel. Daniel, my brother, you are younger than me. Do you still feel the pain? You gonna take it from there?
Of my eyes that won't heal.
Your eyes that shine, you see more than I. Daniel, you're a star. You're gonna be a YouTube star, right?
Hey.
Hey. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. The title of this video is Black Friday Deals on Maui. And I'm gonna tell you, if you don't know Daniel, he has got in what my opinion is the best Black Friday deal you will find anywhere in the world. And that is an opportunity to come hang out with Daniel on Maui and experience not just the blind guy's kitchen, if you would be so lucky, but also what he has coined the blind guy tour. So when you're here on vacation next time, Daniel would love to take you. Would it be on a hike? What are some of the options? Where do some of your tours go? And by the way, if you want to help, you want to do this thing, we set up a special website called helpdaniel.org, helpdaniel.org. The link is in the description.
Thanks.
And if you want to take advantage of this Black Friday deal, that's your first stop shop. You're going to learn a little bit about what happened to Daniel. He's not just a fire survivor. He's supposed to be living right now on Front Street, right? That's where you're supposed to be. Because if you're blind, it's nice if you're somewhere familiar where you can just cross the street and hang out with some folks and know exactly where you're going. But unfortunately, that's not what happened because your home burned to the ground. So now we're dealing with that. He's got a FEMA house that could potentially stop in February. We don't know. You could be homeless or houseless. That's not going to happen because of the most aloha infused audience on planet Earth. So if somebody wants to help, we're going to tell a little bit about your story. I'm going to stop talking here in a minute because I know you got some chops too. Not to mention you got the reggae Rasta cool little guitar. But we would love for you guys to take advantage of this Black Friday deal. Go to helpdaniel.org, learn about his story, and if you do that today and you help contribute to the cause, because people like Daniel, I'm going to say, we were talking about this earlier, there's people that just fall through the cracks of the system, right? And unfortunately, those people sometimes are the most in need. They're the most helpless, and the system is not adequately designed to help people like that. And so they literally fall through the cracks. But we're not going to let that happen because this is the most aloha-infused audience on planet Earth. And Daniel is ready to take you on the infamous, or is it? No, it's famous, right? It will be famous someday. The Blind Guy Tour, anywhere, because he knows this island like the back of his hand. And just like these Ray-Ban glasses that we hooked him up with, they've got the cameras right here on both sides. He can put any object in front of him and say, "Hey, Meta, what am I looking at?" And it actually sees more than most people see with their eyes. And that's the same way Daniel is. I believe that he sees more, even though he's totally blind, than most of you will perceive when you come here and do a blind guy tour. He can tell you more about the trees, the birds, what's on this corner, what's on that corner, what's behind this waterfall, what's on top of that mountain. And he can do it all while playing the guitar and giving you some aloha. And we're all about restoring the aloha vibe back to the island of Maui. So with that massive introduction, Daniel, it's all you, baby. helpdaniel.org.
Well, everything you say makes a lot of sense. And those of us that remember Lahaina and every inch and every little boardwalk, every little statue, the little whalers village kind of statues with the sailor guys, places around where we knew every square inch, even with our eyes closed. You know.
So what can somebody expect if you're gonna take them on a blind guy tour? What does that look like? Because they might want to take advantage of this Black Friday special that you're running right now. What does that look like?
Black Friday special is we got to give deep discounts, right? So
you're not going to charge them anything. All they got to do is go register at helpdaniel.org, give whatever you can, right? Donations are accepted. But what are they going to get when they come over here and all of a sudden they find you? You're not going to be...
It's kind of like whatever you get whenever a sea turtle goes to the set of Mulan you get a whole new experience. You know, doing things with me can be a little bit arduous, and I understand that. But the interaction, I think, can be edifying for both parties. Doing music, fashion, food, fun, fellowship, friendship, fantasticness, a lot of those F words that we enjoy and take for granted sometimes. You know, get to the trailheads, the surf breaks, the waterfalls, the coffee shops, the talk story venues all around the island of Maui, you know, and the aloha spirit. We're ambassadors of aloha. We want to bring the energy back to Maui, where people feel that connection, the places we go, the people we meet, and there's a cuteness about it that we romance about when we're not here.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, with guys like Eric giving us the ins and outs on how to make the most of our 7 to 10 to 14 to 21-day vacations here and there. Really good summation of how to find the right place to go, where to park, what, if you have to choose, how you're going to condense it. Not that you can really do it. Maui's a great place to live. A lot of the beautiful, here we have sunshine in the final days of November. It's warm.
So
the breeze
warm.
is cool. We have a little bit of mist in Lahaina today, which that's setting the tone for the mood to come right back to where it needs to be. You're doing something well. Mist in Lahaina means we're coming into whale season, rainbow season.
The blessings are coming, right?
Blessings are coming.
The blessings are coming.
It's the
Right
best
now,
time of
late
year.
November, I got a little bit of sweat condensation forming on my back, and I like that versus the frost that would normally be forming on my nose tip if I was back in Colorado. So this is a great place to come, relax,
Oh, wow.
unwind, feel the energy, feel the vibe. It's still here. Maui is still the greatest place, I believe, on planet Earth. And someone like Daniel can show it to you and explain it to you better than anybody else, I believe. And it would be one of the most unique experiences to spend some time with this amazing man. He's a poet, he's a musician, and if you don't know much about his story, some would say it's tragic, some would say it's one of the greatest crimes ever perpetrated on a human being. But he has a grace about him and a forgiveness and no chip on his shoulder. He's got a better attitude than most people that have everything in the world. And I truly believe that, Daniel. You are a true gift to mankind. And for people to come over here and hang out with you for an afternoon or an hour, 10 minutes, I think is a real blessing for them. Because what you've endured, what you've gone through, what you can share and what you can give is something that most people, you possess a gift that most people don't have.
I like to look at the blessings, you know, and it's a blessing for myself just to be less than what is really required and still get the credit for being more. You know, guys like you, people out there that share the love and want to bring me up to the level and try to make normal of my situation and that I'm okay, that people do want me. We were hearing the song with the lyric from Love Me As You Found Me with Hillsong United earlier, and to like be wanted in the state that we're in sometimes, and to make you feel like you're connected and that you have some sort of place to fit in, it really helps, man, because I've felt like that being who I am is not a blessing to people, so it really improves my mood to hear your positivity about my situation, Eric. Thank you.
Well, you bet, man.
Come visit. I don't know what a blind guide tour is like. It's basically me telling you which way to go when we get to one light or intersection or a place unknown, or I make it okay whenever we make a mistake in our traffic or where we go, or if something works out differently than we anticipated, we see the bright side. We do music, fun, fashion, food, fellowship, art, keychains, paper airplanes, poetry. You know, we do fashion shoots, take pictures with the interesting backdrops of natural Maui and the endless summer over here. Endless summers, honeymoons, tropical fruit, romantic swoons, paddlers in, dugout canoes, waterfalls, private lagoons.
Now he's coming alive.
You know, it's a blessing to be less than I get credit for. Sometimes I don't pass the test, you know.
But it was Daniel's dream, because what happened to him at the age of 40, losing both of his eyes and being blind halfway through life, when most people that are blind, they have the opportunity to learn how to deal with that disability from an early age, from birth, or their eyesight went away, you know, gradually, and they have some remembrance. and have an opportunity and a time to figure out how to work with that kind of a disability. Daniel didn't have that opportunity. He woke up and he actually thought you thought you were dead, right?
Wasn't sure what I was. Took a few confirmations and I'm not sure. I just existed because I could feel the back of my teeth with my tongue. Nobody was familiar there next to me when I revived from my coma. And I didn't remember anything for 6 months, and slowly some of my memories came back, but my mind was really challenged with memory, coordination, and sort of in shock. Sometimes, you know how if you really cry really hard, you're almost trembly a little bit. And I had a lot of trembles and trepidation and some really hard truths to contend with. And I'm not saying that that's more important than anyone else's, but I've come a long way.
But the complexity of your situation is more than most people can fathom. He gave me a good example earlier today. He said that some of the people that he believes were involved with this assault, with this crime, he's the only eyewitness. Well, how would he point them out in a lineup right now? He doesn't have the ability to see. So it's you can create the ultimate perfect crime if you take the eyes away from the person that you perform the crime on, because they can't finger you anymore in a lineup. I mean, that's one of those things that you pointed out that's crazy. Or when he woke up and was in multiple different hospitals, how do you even know if you're where the person says you are, because you have no confirmation of your vision. Your vision is one of your greatest ways you keep a bearing on your whereabouts and believing what people are telling you. You literally have to go on the trust of believing who is telling you something. And when this happened, he wasn't with family. He was just in institutions for a period of time. Not even believing. He did not even know what had happened. It wasn't until a friend of his read some reports and said, "Hey, this is what happened to you," and he didn't even know it. You didn't even realize that your eyes were removed, like some type of it was a potential harvesting. We're not going to get into all the details of it,
I had the microphone.
But it's really, I believe it's something that I think they'll make a movie out of Daniel someday. I truly believe it. And
to have to contend with that, Eric, sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, it's okay.
But it did just kind of revive something in me about that. That sometimes you want to not think about the negative, but actually, and want to point the finger at anything dogmatically or so certainly, right? Because there are so many things unknown, and I have memory loss, but with what happened and with my eyes being missing, they're completely gone. And wondering, maybe it's a good thing if somebody's benefiting from my eyes somewhere, but who knows? And what part of my eyes were salvaged for someone else? And I contend with whether or not that my eyes are just used because of the situation I was in, which is complex and embarrassing, and it's a tough one to kind of have to live with and without blaming or pointing the finger to somebody. That my eyes are just gone. Somebody else may have vision because of parts of them that got used for other people's vision, yet without any saying, okay, these are your eyes, but they're not yours anymore. And I have to live with thinking that maybe that happened, that surgeons don't want to talk.
And you'd think there'd be records, right? You think they could keep accountability for someone's eyes, but that there is no accountability. Nobody knows the whereabouts.
And I can't track it down myself. I can't read the reports, and nobody wants to get soiled by the fallout of what could possibly be the knowing the truth of the reality.
So it's interesting when you get into the weeds of a person's situation and you see the crack that they get placed into and how they can fall through the cracks and how society can completely and utterly forget. Not just Daniel, but all the people that suffered at the hands of the Lahaina fire. He's one of them. And just having to deal with this disability and also trying to get the help that he needs is incredibly challenging. I think it's more than the average person could handle, quite frankly. And I said something to Daniel the other day. I said, well, obviously, you're one of the toughest people on the planet, because they say God only gives you what you can handle. So I'm going to say, bro, you are one of the toughest people walking the earth. I truly believe that.
Well, it's hard to get evicted from places in housing, and I would happily be different if I was sighted and hadn't been through metabolic things, but I've been evicted as a blind person by people that might have had an easier time helping me relocate than to actually evict for a place they wanted to bulldoze that I guess wasn't livable enough to keep. And I was just trying to find a place to go.
Can you imagine evicting a blind person
And how do you deal
not
with the
offering
court?
any help?
How do you apply for any other service? How do people know how to help you? So there are people that fall through the cracks because the need for help prevents being able to seek the help. And it's built in with the church as well as with other nonprofit organizations. But it really wouldn't be possible, the things that are going on with me, without more help than that. And everybody picks up the slack wherever they can. And then there's eventually a time where they're distracted by their own reality and people that have to make ends meet. And they can't just come devote their life to a just cause just because they're passionate about it. But guys like Eric do the advertising for me and reach a community far beyond the scope of what other agencies have their hands tied and they can't get creative, or the word on the street doesn't apply to what stale information they have. And there are people out there that need to be brought into the help. There really are. Beyond me, they don't, somehow it was miraculous and divine. Eric was able to hear about my story from times in Lahaina where he and I weren't close friends. I wasn't the most fun guy to be around in times where we encountered each other. But
No, you weren't that bad.
He's an example of how to look past it and turn the other cheek. And the principles we have in Romans 12, in the Bible, places that they're built in, like in Ephesians, how to treat things situationally. And he actually lives it. You know, we were spending a little time earlier singing some songs, some of his favorite music, has really great principles and values, and he knows all the words to some really, really special, like romantic gospel hymns that are modern and special. And so you could just tell that Eric's not just pretending to care, and he does things to help. Hopefully this guy here, this individual, can somehow have a benefit from somebody else being able to do for him what he can't do. I wish I could do it. I'm ready to hold the sign that says, this guy's cool. You know what I mean?
Open house. We'll do the open houses
Open
together.
house sign for the real estate, for Eric's causes, to bring awareness where he's getting people giving him issues for trying to have just some direction to it, the places that he needs to have the people know where to go for the open houses for real estate. Maybe I'll stand there and hold the sign. You'll see me with a sort of umbrella on my head because I get sunburnt. We're out here in the land of the sunshine in Lahaina right now, and I don't get out here often. This place is Canoes Beach. There's a heritage here.
We're in Kaanapali right now. As a matter of fact, Daniel used to trim most of the palms. He used to climb up these palm trees, and he was a professional arborist on Maui. And what you just said really hit home for me, man. It's like it's situational. It's like if you hear about somebody that needs something, it's like we're called to help no matter what, right? But I met you down at the 505. You had your parrot on your shoulder. He used to have this cool little parrot right here on his shoulder, and we were both looking at the waves that day, thinking about going out and surfing. We ended up in a small conversation. And then I was looking I had a watch that was stolen from me, and I was over at the pawn shop, letting the pawn shop owner know, and I just said, hey, by the way, what happened to Daniel? Because Daniel used to work at the pawn shop. And he told me what happened. I'm like,
well,
what?
That's kind of a stretch, but yeah,
Well,
I used to spend a lot of time over there because it was free for me to hang out in the parking lot at night and sort of
they didn't hassle you, right?
do my little like irresponsible lifestyle of abundance of hiking, surfing, art projects, and ongoing several things of spray painting, this or that, surfboard, or in building a chopper bike. One interesting thing after another without being so caught up in all the cost of bills. So I was living simply and moving around, harvesting coffee, going on hiking trips, doing Kalalau Trail, backpacking Kauai occasionally. You know, I lived kind of what some people might say is a life of squalor in a way, but I missed those days so bad, took my eyes away, and I can't even live in squalor anymore.
You know, he used to go dive 100 feet, right? You used to dive?
I've been 148 feet in the ocean on a breath of air without a mouthful.
And he used to go, what, shoot fish, yeah?
With just my fins, that I made my own free diving fins.
Well, you used to actually dive off of Nakaele. What's it called?
Nakalele blowhole.
Nakalele
Oh, yeah,
blowhole.
all up
Can
and
you
down the
imagine
west side,
out there
Carthaginian.
that crazy deep, crazy ocean up there with the big currents and the waves? Daniel's
Swim
out
with
there.
sharks and whales and
You were like, were you like an Aquaman or what?
sea otter. Some people used to joke around and call me Poseidon, I guess.
And you used to what? Go get the OPE and crack those things open?
One, because I don't really take shells just for the shell, and there was an OPE that was the biggest one I've ever seen, so I decided to pluck it off, and I was going to eat it if I was going to take a life for it, and it was a big shell. Maybe that's bad energy, but it was a big shell. I think I got toxic off of it, and I lost it in a bad other move out situation, but that's the kind of way, like I collect shells, I'd be shelling, diving for shells. I know where to get some. They're a little bit deeper somewhat for most people, but I used to like around Honolulu Bay, a secret spot, and go up around the Upper West Side where there's some really nice topography under the water, and I miss the beams of light, the rays of light beaming through the surface of the teal color and the reef around, finding different shells, bringing friends snorkeling with me to enjoy it.
So how many years were you on Maui, or have you been on Maui?
I arrived here in 2005.
2005.
Not that long. So.
2005. Well, that's a good stretch, man. That's what, 19 years of experience on this island. So if you're just tuning in, the Black Friday special that we're offering is if you go to helpdaniel.org, give any amount, doesn't matter, and the next time you're on Maui, and if you want a blind guy tour, you could start off in the blind guy's kitchen because you're one of the most amazing chefs. You're nutritionally incredibly sound with all your advice. So if you want to get healthy, he'll give you some good tips. This guy's built like a Ninja Turtle. Let me tell you, I've
had to rebound from metabolic stuff over the past few years. Which Ninja Turtle would I be, I wonder?
For someone that doesn't exercise too much, dude, you look like an Iron Man. So yeah, he's incredibly fit and knows a lot about what to eat and how to eat and the right. I mean, any kind of nutritional topic, I'm telling you, Daniel's got it down. He's like a walking encyclopedia. He's like you're like a walking podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Kombucha.
His kombucha is the best you've ever had.
Yeah, it tastes good. I don't use tea, so it's not caffeinated. And for the kombucha, I like ferments and sauerkraut, things in the kitchen. The Blind Guy's Kitchen. Daniel Bennett at the Blind Guy's Kitchen. I did phone recordings of some cooking prep I did with a few different procedures. And although they can't all have been loaded up already, there's somebody that cares enough to think it was worth trying to put on a channel for Daniel Bennett at the Blind Guy's Kitchen and try to show food prep with an energy and even try to make my own soundtracks for it. But I don't know if any of those are loaded. But there again, you can talk to me too with Facebook Messenger, my name, Daniel Bennett, and then type Maui in the search bar. One person from one of the lives that Eric was with me before, that Sarah and Eric Longfellow, they reached out and said hi to me, and I can't use Facebook the same way, but I was able to see the secret message zone, so sometimes I have to find a way to swipe through and do that. But they want to meet Eric and his family and me in March. Maybe that's still possible. Hey guys. And Maui Dan, hello. We got to be friends over some connection. The phone rang one day and it was Maui, Wyoming Dan, one of the most loyal followers to the HawaiiRealEstate.org channel. But I'm trying to write songs. I want to do a song that makes it into the soundtrack of a movie, and then whoever does great films does the soundtrack.
Probably be your own movie, bro. You want to play him a song real quick? By the way, Daniel has a impeccable recall of lyrics and poems and songs that he's written himself. It's quite something. And the poems that you've written are long and elaborate and very detailed. I don't know where you get all this stuff, bro, but you're like a creative savant at some level.
Inspiration, it comes from desire, and then action potential sometimes. Maybe it's that crush. You guys know what like a new crush feels like, or that motivation you get, you want to work out a little bit harder, or go to that uncomfortable place a little bit to get the gain of the opposite side. A little bit of stress, adapt to the stress, and come out the other side with the rebound of that, the boomerang effect, where a little bit of exercise is causing inflammation, but it turns into a pleasant feeling of well-being. Well, I kind of have a short song that's okay.
What's this one called?
I think it's a question mark. It's called, "Do you like I do?" Do you like I do? Like a question mark at the end.
All right. Oh, wait, before you start that one, can you do the one Makawa one? That one's really cool. The upcountry.
Oh,
Because one of your blind guide tours could be in the upcountry.
upcountry?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind
So
of.
if somebody wanted to go on a tour with you and they went upcountry, would you be able to give them some insight up there? Do you have?
No, I know kind of the generalities about it, but no,
But you're more west side.
Yeah, but Maui in general, Iao Valley, I think Twin Falls, Kipahulu, Wainapa Napa. I know the places, the crater, we can kind of get there with GPS, and I know a few of the ins and outs, although the times have changed and reservations need to be made. I've heard 6 weeks in advance for Wainapa Napa, maybe 7 sacred pools out at Kipahulu. And then the crater, you can't go without reservation in the morning anymore. But I know about getting to Iao. There's places like 13 Crossings. Just generally going all around Maui. Every little town has its allure. There's an open mic session I want to try to get to at a coffee shop / kombucha / kava bar called Story, just above my favorite grocery store on the island in Paia called Mana Foods.
And you also have an invitation to perform at Java Jazz, right?
Yes, the owner of Java Jazz. I used to sit there and drink tea. I'd love to go there again, have a cup of tea today.
Yeah.
They have a nice Persian tea. At $5, get you a bottomless cup. They'll make a new urn full of their Persian bergamot cardamom tea. They have a full menu, and the guy says he'll give you a Rolex for the price of a Timex.
Yeah, for us.
The owner's really entertaining, kind of enthusiastic, a little bit extreme. You might want to be ready for a few curse words, but he has a good heart, and he's patriotic all the way through and through to the bone.
We need more patriots, that's for sure. All right, hit it.
Okay, do you like I do? Do you like me the way I like you? I don't think you can, but I know I like you. I like you. Do you want me the way I want you? I don't think you can, but I know I want you. Do you love me the way I love you? I don't think you can, but I hope you know I love you. I love you. feel me? I feel you. Do
All
you like
right,
I do?
beautiful, love it. What about that Maui poem? I know you have a couple in there, don't you?
The Maui poem?
Did-
Oh, what, the upcountry?
I don't know, you did this Maui poem a while ago. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. That was an inspiration from, well, somebody that encouraged me to keep dreaming about Maui in moments when you think of the things you love. And I did it to music too, but the poem is Reveries of a 13th Moon. But yeah, why, you want to hear the poem recited?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know it? You got it?
Yeah, what, the Reveries of a 13th Moon, dreaming of the places on Maui? Yep, Reveries of a 13th Moon, made December 21st, there in the solstice, near in the final moon cycle of the typical annual winter time that happens right before Christmas. It was Maui dreaming in my mind. Pray I seek that which I find. So when I leave this life behind, I will not feel to press rewind. Keakua be my guide, nudging gently side by side. While as this walk becomes a ride, I'll have your grace and will abide. Join and ponder while I prattle on the land of sheep and cattle. Paniolos in the saddle, Hawaii's sovereignty battle. Endless summers and honeymoons, tropical fruit, romantic swoons, waterfalls, private lagoons, and paddlers in dugout canoes. Cocoa palms whose fronds may fall to be woven on the sea wall. Eucalyptus trees standing tall, viewed from the ground, you'd feel so small too. Swaying high up from their boughs, I'll miss not then what I feel now, yet with a grain of salt I now know that it all works out somehow though. As I navigate you steer, to be sure the coast is clear, for goats and boar and axis deer, the luxury of nature near and dear. Here I am in reveries, where mountains rise up from the seas, and lily koi vines wind up trees, like guavas, mangoes, and lychees. Please share your lessons, I beseech thee, with a blessing as you teach me, neath the shade tree on the beach, beside the ocean where whales breach. Keep fresh fruit, shave ice close at reach, Haupia in, bottom of each. See hula girls there in the sand, their stories told with graceful hands. It's natural in Aloha land, where ukes and bongos make the band, with rainbows beaming all around, to hope and joy and laughter sound, with mana from the sky and ground, where abundant life can abound. From Kihei to Lahaina town, then we retreat out to Iao, Pukalani, Makawao, Hanakipohulu, and Honokohau. Bear with me now, we almost pal. We always get back to Lahaina town. And you guys know who you are. And in this life of ups and downs, these are the places I'll be found.
So who wrote that?
Aloha Lahaina. I don't know, it just came through.
It just came through, huh?
God did it. Holy Spirit.
It's so cool, man. Have you thought about putting that to a song?
Yeah, it goes to the song like this is the music.
Done.
The music.
Whoa! Hang on. I think the gimbal ran out of juice, dude. That's all right. We handhold it. Bear with me.
Now dreaming in my mind. Woo! Pray I seek that which I find. So when I leave this life behind, I will not feel to press rewind. Keakua be our guide, nudging gently by our side. While as this walk becomes a ride, have your grace and will abide. We'll join and ponder while we prattle on the land of sheep and cattle. Bonnie Olo's in the saddle. The Hawaii sovereignty battle. Maui no ka oi.
Yes, sir.
Maui no ka oi. As I navigate you steered. Oops. To be sure the coast is clear. For goats and boar and axis deer. The luxury of nature near and dear. In the summer's honeymoon. Tropical fruit, romantic swoons. Paddlers in dugout canoes. Waterfalls, private lagoons. Cocoa palms whose fronds may fall to be woven on the seawall. Yeah, eucalyptus standing tall. Viewed from the ground, feel so small too. But swaying high up from their boughs, I'll miss nothing what I feel now. Oh, with a grain of salt I now know that it all works out somehow, though. E one pa akako. Umau ke ea o ka aina i ka pono. Maui no ka oi. Maui no ka oi. Maui no ka oi.
Nice.
It can go on and on. I need a bridge or something.
You need a
I
bridge.
need to learn how to write songs. Anybody know how?
It was amazing, dude. You know, you remind me of like the next Jack Johnson, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got sort of that.
John
kinda-
Jackson.
John Jackson, this kid.
I'm John Jackson. How's the one go? How's he do it? It's coming to something that nobody knows. That a beauty will follow wherever she goes. Up a hill in the back of a house in the woods. She loved me forever. I know she. La da
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 da.
da. Da 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 da
Da
da
da
da
da
da da
da
da da.
La da 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 da. But I was eating lunch at the DLG when this cute little thing came up next to me. I never seen nobody move the way she did, and she did, and she does, and she'll do it again. Okay, Jack's pretty awesome, right?
He is.
He's fun. Doesn't have to really talk about much, but he's got a playful way of doing it. And he's pretty smooth
And
with
it's
the
all
guitar.
about the vibe, man. It's just the vibe. And he's just got the vibe. It's the Jack Johnson, let's go for a surf and hang out, you know, Lahaina and just have fun. It's all about the vibe.
Hey.
Hey, well, Daniel, thank you, brother. I appreciate you spending some time talking some story with the most aloha-infused audience on planet Earth. If you're just tuning in, this is Daniel.
Thanks for making it all about me a little bit.
Of course, of course. And you guys, if you want to read more about his story, you want to support Daniel, you want to go on a Blind Guys tour or eat out of the Blind Guys kitchen, go to helpdaniel.org. He is a Lahaina fire survivor. He's supposed to be on Front Street right now, but unfortunately, his place burned to the ground. So
Man,
certain
yeah.
people fall through the cracks of the system. He's certainly one of them. We want to make sure he's not homeless in February when his FEMA housing runs out. And obviously it's tough to climb coconuts and coconut trees and trim like you used to back in the day. So making a living's tough, but we know you got that guitar, you got that voice, you got that artistic vibe, you got skills, you got a gift for the world. And I'm telling you, dude, I think you're gonna be one of the most important people God ever created.
Maybe I could get a guitar lesson out of the deal. If anybody knows how to play guitar really well, could teach me how to do it. That'd be good. I could probably benefit from one now. Learning, I got a little bit of strength and ability to hold my body in that way that at least maybe I could pick up on a thing or two from a real lesson. Show me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it.
Well, you're doing pretty good for not knowing how to do it, man. And for doing it without any eyesight is pretty amazing, bro.
It's been a friend to me in dark times.
Daniel doesn't go anywhere without his guitar. Matter of fact, in the middle of the night, sometimes you wake up and just strum away. Yeah?
Oh, that's what I do. You know, when things are on my mind and I try to, these lyrics and things I think about, there's traffic that goes by in my place, and then the sound of the traffic rolling by sometimes gives me a little bit of nervousness, but then other times I try to imagine like the sound of the waves that just roll up and down on the shore. And as the waves go rolling by, I wonder what's going through the minds of people driving by and they don't even know I'm there. And I just want to know if I can come with them. Want to take me on a drive?
Let's go. Blind Guys Tour.
Go.
So that's the Black Friday special for you guys. Go to helpdaniel.org, and next time you're on Maui, if you want to go on one of his famous tours anywhere on the island, I can guarantee you that these eyes can see more about this island than most. And he's got the Ray-Bans with the Meta built in, so literally he can talk to these glasses and he can say, Meta, what am I looking at? So it's amazing the technology that's helping people, and as of December, it's going to be integrated with an app called Be My Eyes, which is the official sort of help for disabled people that'll be integrated now with the Ray-Ban glasses. So thanks to contributions from people, assets like this are available to Daniel, and we even have some exciting news about some Plan Bs we have, so he doesn't go homeless if he gets booted out of the FEMA house. And so there's some things that are happening, but we do need your support. We would love for you to go to helpdaniel.org. Our goal is to have a recurring of $4,000 a month to help support his you have this food addiction, right? You need that food and water and shelter like we all do?
It's accessibility, normal things, yeah, absolutely. And to continue the abilities to get service and the workarounds, the trips to places and exposure. The machine is not cheap running, and there's abundance out there, and we're blessed and grateful for all the help and support and prayers.
Yes.
Bring somebody up, lift somebody up, folks. Hope I can do the same.
You do. Well, thank you guys for praying for Daniel. Thank you for, we're using, he's using Give, Send, Go now, which is I think a better platform than GoFundMe. But you just type in helpdaniel.org, it'll redirect you to that. And please, in the comments, let us know your favorite part about this live, and let us know next time you come to Maui and you can connect directly with Daniel. Maybe you just want to sit and talk story. Maybe you want to let him play a guitar song or go grab a cup of tea. He's off the coffee at the moment, but
I'd like to make for you a keychain. I'd like to make for you a keychain out of coconut fiber if I can get some, and little key rings, maybe a paper airplane, or cut up a T-shirt. Try to do something entertaining for you that's unique and punctuates an experience that reinforces what it is that you remember and like about your trip to Maui, or what you love about it, and all the interesting characters that there are all around. And we'll do something to emphasize it and make it more meaningful, a meaningful experience.
And bring the aloha back.
Bring and experience the aloha, be it ambassadors of aloha.
Yes, sir. As you know, this town has gone through some crazy times here the last few, what do we had, 478 days since the fire, so we need as much community to come back, we need as much support. Don't ever forget about Lahaina and what happened here, and don't let people like Daniel fall through the cracks. So whether you help him or somebody else, there's still a whole community of people here that are in need. So don't forget about Lahaina, Lahaina forever. And we know that the most aloha-infused audience has never let anybody down, ever. And I know you won't let Daniel down in whatever you can do, whether it's just going to helpdaniel.org and just sharing that page, or or helping in a financial way, or just saying a prayer. Whatever you can do is greatly, greatly appreciated. So thank you, Daniel, for taking some time out of your beautiful day to talk story, to play guitar, and to share a little bit about your life and where you're at right now. And I know that this is just the beginning of amazing things that are just getting ready to unfold for you on this beautiful island.
It's an honor and a pleasure, Eric. Honor and a pleasure. Thanks for getting me involved and exposing me a little bit more and get me back out to Lahaina, because a lot of people are displaced and can't find a place over here anymore.
Yep, so to be back on your side of the island, because the west side's the best side. And no matter what, make some travel plans, guys. Come over here, take advantage of this Black Friday special. Make those airplane reservations. Get someone in your office or your community to come to Maui, because we need all the tourism we can get. And don't forget to take advantage of what I think is the best Black Friday deal you're going to find today, which is a blind guy tour when you come over here.
I'd love to make it happen if we could go have some tea at Java Jazz, explore the places, whichever hot tub we can go and crash, go visit the ceremonial dive splash of the local that jumps off of the Black Rock Cliff, lighting the torches and jumps through his lei in the water for the sunset. And maybe we'll even see the green splash while we're at it.
Hey, just the other day, Daniel was getting tossed and body surfing out in Kanapali, just getting dominated. Man, you had so much sand in your hair. It was crazy, bro. You look like the Sandman.
My ears
amazing.
still have some sand in it.
So
I didn't get bothered by it at all. We lost my glasses, and then that's how it came about that we tried these Ray-Ban glasses that have speakers and talk to you and can take pictures. And hopefully let me upload a few things with my cooking that I'd like to share with those. But maybe you can find something about it anyways. Easy experience at the Kanapali Whalers Village Ray-Ban store. Go right in. They have some of these on display.
On sale right now, 20% off, right?
Yeah, but they have a discount on them as well. They're really not expensive compared to other technologies of similar ilk. And they're light and comfortable. You can almost not even tell that they're advanced technology glasses. They feel like they're designed like glasses, not like a big camera.
There's cameras built into it.
There's stuff about these I don't even know, yeah.
He can ask AI any question, and it comes through the speakers and tells him all kinds of information. And he can put any object in front of these glasses and say, hey, Meta, what am I looking at? And it will tell him. It's really amazing.
Pretty good at responding. I'll to say some of the good with some of the bad, in case it's good or bad, because this could go either way. They seem like they might be just slightly woke, if that means anything to anybody. I heard that on TV. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they have been censored to a certain degree. So on that note, did you guys hear about how the Maui Police Department is trying to censor Hawaii News Now? And they're actually, Allison Jane, is that her name? The reporter?
Her name's Allison.
Allison, they're asking Allison to not report. They're not going to take any more inquiries from her because she did an investigation, and there's actually the first whistleblower has come forth, the guy that was running the morgue services after the fire, and said that there was no protocols were being followed, basically, for accountability for the dead bodies. So it's crazy, the world we live in right now and what's going on.
Sure,
but
everybody has to be more than careful, and it's hard not to bother somebody, and everything's controversial. But in a world where everybody seems to try to do the best they possibly can anyways at all times, asking a question, and when there's an over-emotional response, we don't know what's going on in the minds of people, but the questions that I heard from what more journalism didn't seem inappropriate, and then there is some sort of vagueness about what orders were given and why there's any sort of controversy over that. I think is unnecessary, and I'm not taking a side, because I think every job that people are doing is hard, and I couldn't do better myself, and it's hard to know what it's like in the time of a tragedy when you might be either the freeze or fight or flight kicks in. So I just offer compassion to everybody in whatever side this is that you take, because it mustn't be easy to contend with the sleepless nights and the worry that it is. And all in all, there's no going back and changing it. But there were a few warning signs that this potential could happen in the past, and I've seen the fire climbing up the phone poles at the top of Lahaina Luda Road in a few years fire before. I just recognize that it's not always easier to do the same things you train to do, and then when there's no training for the real thing. But the order to not let people pass and save lives in a crucial moment, or overriding it because you answer to God before you answer to your boss, these types of things you know, it's I'm gonna just leave it to God and let
Well, the
that be.
truth's going to come out.
It's hard. It's hard to be any.
It's like giving birth or something. It's going to come out, and the good news is whistleblowers are coming forward right now. And so, if you haven't checked out Tracy Irwin's most recent videos that she put out on this this latest development, I think it's one of the biggest developments since the fire, and just the fact that MPD is trying to silence Hawaii News Now, and Hawaii News Now, props to them. Their attorney wrote a letter back. I put it on my community post today. But taking a stand for the Fifth Amendment and saying, no, you're not going to silence us.
First Amendment too. I mean, really well cogent written response, I thought.
Yeah. So keep following that. Please keep the message alive of what happened here and what's continuing to happen here. And let's hope with the new administration coming in January that there'll be some RFK attention, some things will happen here in Lahaina that will make the right things right. Like I just put a video out where make the wrong things right. I just put a video out where they're spending, minimum $7 million a year on 10 checkpoint Charlies to keep people from going into Lahaina. It doesn't make any sense. You could put up a roadblock and some concrete. And why are these 10 different places manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at a cost of $7 million a year when people like Daniel and so many others fall through the cracks financially? So it's just a lot of injustice, and I believe the crooked paths shall be made straight eventually. So just keep praying and believing, stay tuned,
I like
and care and share.
Ooh, God's going before us, making crooked places straight.
That's right, man. If God be for us, who could be against us, right? All things work together for good for those who love God. So if you're a bad person, I would be changing your ways and asking for forgiveness as quick as possible, because I believe the day of justice is coming, and it's coming swiftly. So,
but if you have a conflicting opinion, you will still be heard. You're entitled to it.
Amen. All right, Daniel. Well, thanks again, my brother. We're going to get on to the next phase. If you've hung out alive this long, we appreciate it. Daniel is a man of many talents, many words, many stories, many songs, many poems, and a lot to offer the Blind Guide Tour. So make sure you come over, take full advantage. Go to Blind Daniel, helpdaniel.org. We shortened it, helpdaniel.org. Help any way that you can, and we look forward to seeing you guys next time. So we shall return, I shall return. We'll come back, both of you, and we'll do another one of these, man. We don't know where, we don't know when, but we can promise you one thing. It'll be from what I consider to be the most beautiful place on planet Earth, the best lifestyle you'll ever find, with some of the coolest people on the planet. And right here is one of them.
All kinds of shakas, big shakas, little shakas, double shakas, super shakas, free shakas for everybody. They just keep going.
Free shakas.
Just sharing that happiness, a little smile and a shaka for you over there.
And a final word to Maui Dan, because I know Maui Dan is out there somewhere. Jack Frost is nipping on his nose. He's scraping some frost somewhere. I know you guys just had a snowstorm. So Maui Dan, we love you, brother. Till next time, let's see if Daniel can find the button. Can you find the button? Let's see, hang on. If Daniel can find the button, if he can find the button, he can find the button.
Okay, all right.
Found it.
Feels like the button.